Hi, welcome everyone to PopCultX episode one. I already forgot.
I'll leave this outtake in episode 176. No.
176. I'm like a goldfish. I have like no memory whatsoever.
Be a goldfish sign, or yeah, be a goldfish.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to PopCultX. I am Gabriel, Danny, as always, your host to all things pop culture from a Gen X perspective. What's going on, Danny? What have you been up to?
Not too much. Been doing a lot of writing recently. A lot of just focusing on a few different projects that I'm personally working on for to get out into the pop culture world. So that's what I've been doing a lot of. Of course, I watched some Daredevil, watched some other films, or tried to watch another film. Got excited by an announcement made by Apple TV, which of course is Ted Lasso season 4.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I mean, I don't know where I should start with that, but just tell me what you've been up to first, I guess.
Well, I went to go see a film by the name of Opus, which is
Opus.
I'm gonna say I have a different perspective on it. I actually enjoyed the film. It was real. I thought it was good. Apparently, a lot of people are not fans of it. Basically the premise is that there's this older pop rock star that is being played by John Malkovich, has been out of the limelight for like the last 30 years or so, and he reemerges and has new music. So he invites a group of press members to his compound to listen to his new album. From that, there are Juliette Lewis plays a talk show host. There is a journalist from like a Rolling Stones type magazine, and a younger. So they have like the editor, and then they have invited a younger reporter who's kind of green and doesn't have a lot of work under her belt, and that's played by Io Adeberry.
Okay.
I believe that's her name, and she plays like sort of like the newcomer on the scene. And they get to this compound and they find out, or she finds out, that it's very much like a cult, and
Oh
there's all
wow.
kinds of weird stuff going on. It's really interesting because it talks about people's obsession with fame and with their idols, and what would you do for your idols,
Hmm.
and I thought it was interesting. It's very similar to like The Menu. Did you see that
Yeah.
film?
Hmm.
Where a group of people come to like this well-respected chef. Well, this case, it's this legend of a rock star, sort of like an Elton John style rock star, pop star, and then they're sort of it's a sort of twist of like what happens when he turns on you, and all this other
Mm.
stuff happens. I don't want to ruin it, but the music is really good. The music is made by Nile Rodgers. From He's a prolific producer. I'm sure you've heard of
Mm.
him before. He did the music. The music's really well done. The acting is really good. John Malkovich is great in the main role, playing the old aged pop star. Juliette Lewis is always really good. I love her.
Right. I was gonna say you were sold when you saw her there, right?
That's pretty much why I saw it, is because of Juliette Lewis. I'll be honest. I love her, and she's really good in it. Uh, Io is really good. I feel like I'm saying her name wrong. Is it Io or Ao?
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I can look it up, but um,
It feels awkward coming out, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful by saying it incorrectly. But she was really good in it. I think this is her like first foray into like a more of a drama horror genre, and I thought she did well. I believe what is her name? The girl from Prey. She was in it as well. She
oh,
doesn't
really?
have
Okay.
a role in it, but this is the second movie in like the last 2 weeks that I've seen her in. She was in Novocaine as well.
Okay.
So she's getting out there, and has a lot. I guess a lot of films coming out. So I liked it. I would recommend it. It wasn't like an amazing film, but I thought that it was great in many aspects. There was a lot of suspense. Why does that word sound so weird coming out of my mouth? Suspense.
Road.
Yeah,
It's a suspense.
suspense. There's like some horror parts to it. The Like I said, the music is really good. I would recommend it. I think it was
Okay.
good. It's an A24 film, so I think that they have a reputation of making really good films.
Yeah.
And this is I wasn't disappointed by it. Let's just say that.
That's cool. I mean, I love a good music biopic, although
Yep.
this doesn't seem to be that, but I do like a good music biopic. And matter of fact, I did watch one when you were talking about this. It reminded me of I watched Better Man,
Oh, nice.
the life story of Robbie Williams, right? The Brit boy band, bad boy punk, or not punk rocker, but rock star. And that was really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was done by the same director who did The Greatest Showman. So
Okay.
it was very cinematic, very magical, right? So, of course, you could tell that right off the beginning when the star or Robbie Williams character is a chimpanzee, right?
Yeah, and why is that? Like, do they explain, or is it just always the case that he's a monkey?
They hinted it a little bit, and I think that's just the way he sees himself as like an outcast, as like different than everyone else.
Okay.
So to in order to instead of constantly repeating that, they just use a visual cue at him as a chimp to, drive home that point. That's what I thought. So
Okay.
and it worked well. I mean, it worked really well. There were some really, really great shots in that as a filmmaker wannabe or aspiring filmmaker myself, I saw those and I was just like, that tells so much without saying anything.
Yeah.
It was just so well done. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't even know that much about Robbie Williams. So to learn, other than he wrote the song, what, Angel, I think, or Angels or whatever, and but to see his life story told through his own words, because he's in it, he's collaborating with it. It's not just like a biography of him, it's
Yeah.
him telling his story. It was just really well done. I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. And yeah, I it was great.
So, like in the movie, do they ever say like, "Oh, this guy's a monkey"?
No, they never directly reference that he's a monkey in any way whatsoever. They just
That's so
accept
weird.
it. They just accept
Okay.
it, and it just is what it is. And that's why I think it's just the way he views himself.
All right. Well, I want to check it out. I do like some of his songs, some of his pop songs. I think it's what Millennium, Rock DJ.
Hmm.
There's a couple songs that I like of his that I was a fan of. So I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, yeah, do that. And it's funny because during his career, and he's had different variants of himself, different hairstyles, different way he portrays himself. And the chimp has those same different hairstyles. So it's really cool to see like the chimpanzee with like frosted tips and stuff like that during like that phase he was going through. It's really well done. Yeah, you'd like it, especially if you like his music.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, I'll have to check it out. TV wise, I am continuing on my binge watch of uh, the now I can't think of the word the show. There goes my memory again. The Pit.
Okay, The Pit.
Yeah, The Pit is so good. I keep recommending it, but it's really worth watching. It's really well done. It's a really good medical drama comedy. Comedy in the sense that like life is funny, not like haha, like
Hmm.
there's jokes in it, but just life in general is funny. The special effects are amazing. Like the operations that they perform or the different things that they have to go through. This last episode, they have someone going through childbirth, and it's very graphic and very
Oh
detailed,
wow.
and it's very interesting to watch. It's really cool to see all the stuff that they go through. Like it has some politics in it in the sense that um the nurses have to deal with a lot because they're dealing with like overcrowding, less money, people being upset at them because they're not being treated really quickly. They're doing their best. It's just a really well acted uh, show. Really good. I can't recommend it enough.
That's cool. Yeah, I have yet to start that. I need to. Who doesn't love good medical drama, right?
It's so good. Like I've never been into medical dramas. Like wasn't into ER or Grey's Anatomy or anything like that. What was the other one that's like even older? Um,
I think there's one called Emergency Room, not ER, but I think there was one called Emergency Room or something like
Yeah, but there was one that was I don't know I forget it was it was about a hospital I believe
St.
And
Elmo's Fire. Is that it? Or
it was like when we were kids.
I think it was St. Elmo's Fire. That sounds
That's a
familiar.
movie.
But I think there's also a TV show.
Hmm.
See, now you're gonna make me look it up.
Yeah, it's something like
You're
something.
right. That was a TV. That wasn't a movie, but I thought it
Yeah,
was
it's something like Street Blues, Hill Street
Hill
Blues.
Street Blues. That sounds familiar too.
Like Hill Street Blues, was that a cop show or a hospital drama?
I don't know.
I'm trying
I
to
don't know.
Street Blues uh, cops. So yeah, that wasn't Hill Street. I'm thinking of, I don't know. I think I was thinking of Hill Street Blues, but it wasn't. It's not medical. But anyway, getting to my point is that The Pit is really good. It's a really well done show. The characters are really great. I just really recommend everyone watching it because it's so good.
Okay. Saint Elsewhere was one.
Saint Elsewhere, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. So I knew there was a saint in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or were you thinking of Doogie Howser?
No, I was thinking of Saint Elsewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I knew it was Saint something. I knew it.
On the TV front, what have you been watching?
Well, I got caught up with Invincible,
Okay.
the animated series, comic book come to animation series on Prime. Very violent, very bloody, but very well done.
Yeah.
So I think you might have seen the first couple episodes or series seasons of it.
I saw the first season of it.
Yeah,
Is this season 2 or 3?
I think this might be season 3.
Oh wow.
It's really well done. Mark Grayson, of course, Invincible is finally really, they have him training at the beginning of the season. He was really coming into his powers and
Yeah.
realizing that he has to protect Earth, especially after what happened with his father. And he's really then in this latest episode that I saw, he fights his biggest test yet, and that's another Viltrumite named Conquest, and who's voiced by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I think. And it's just so, oh goodness, I can't even think of the right word to say. It's very explosive, very dynamic, and very bloody and violent, and I liked it. I thought it worked.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the comic, and I don't know why I haven't watched the show. I just there's so much to watch it. Like I haven't
Mhm.
gotten into it, but I definitely have to watch it as well.
Yeah, there is a lot in it. It's just like kind of like I haven't watched Severance yet, season 2. There's just been
Mhm.
so much other stuff, and like, okay, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I just
Right.
haven't got to it yet. But I did get to Daredevil, Born Again,
Mhm.
and so the first 3 episodes of that I think are out now. I think the fourth one's out now too, and I'm enjoying it. I know there's a lot of talk about, oh, they had to do a lot of reshoots and a lot of the to make it less wordy. But I don't know. I've been enjoying it because I'm a big Daredevil fan, and they introduced White Tiger into the MCU. I won't say more about that because I want you to see it for yourself if you haven't yet watched it. But White Tiger's introduction into it was very well done. The actor who did play White Tiger passed away,
Yeah.
of course, after he filmed all his scenes. But and they were talking about how the filmmaker, I think the director, during one of his biggest moments in the series, was talking about how it was kind of difficult because they could tell that he was struggling with something, but they didn't know what.
Hmm.
Um, but it didn't. I think it made the character a little more vulnerable, to be honest. So it kind of maybe played into his favor.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was, of course, we know now from cancer that he was suffering, almost similar to what Chadwick Boseman did during Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's really well done. The storyline is going off of like one of the Mayor Fisk's run. So I see like Devil's Reign in there a little bit. I see the Mayor Fisk run, which is really cool. I do like those runs. We haven't been introduced to like Muse yet, which is the next, I think, big villain they're bringing in, and
Yeah.
we see a bit of that, I think. But he's crazy. That Muse guy, he takes like he kills people and then uses like their blood to make these artworks on the wall and stuff. It's pretty insane. So I'm looking forward to it. But I've been enjoying it. Charlie Cox is still doing a great job as Matt Murdock, and yeah, it's been really fun.
Nice. Very cool. I haven't really that really has been all that I've been watching on television. Uh, and I haven't been watching any other shows. I finished up The Traders, which was really good. The Traders
Mm-hmm.
US. That was really a really great reality TV show.
Which
Uh,
version? Because I think once a show becomes popular like that, they start making like so many different variations of it.
they have the US version, which is really good.
Okay, so that's what you
They
saw.
have like UK, Australia.
Yeah.
So I was watching the US version, which was
Okay.
really, yeah. So I would recommend that if you're a fan of reality shows because they have like greatest hits of people from all sorts of different genres of reality television coming on the show to compete. So it was a lot of fun to watch.
Cool.
Yeah.
I tried watching that a little bit. It was I don't know if it was just not for me, but
Yeah.
it was okay. I mean, I think the host did a great job. I liked him. Alan Cummings, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Cool actor.
yeah, he's a good actor. I did see, I don't know if you saw this commercial. It's a State Farm commercial with Jason Bateman.
I haven't.
Okay. So look it up. So Bateman plays Bateman, like a superhero set in the DC world. So he
Uh,
gets into all these troubles with like Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and then I think it's Ben Affleck's Batman that has to save him. So
I show these superheroes.
yeah. So
Oh,
it's really fun. Go look it up on I think YouTube probably has it, but the Bateman State Farm commercials. It's been really fun.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, it's I think you'd get a kick out of that.
I saw the other commercial that just came out with what Pedro Pascal.
Mm-hmm. For
Uh,
Apple I iPods, right? Or something.
yeah, earpods or
EarPods, whatever. AirPods.
Yeah. That was really, it's a really fun commercial. It's really creative and well done. I think it was directed by Spike Jones,
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
music is really cool. The music is one of the songs I think is with Sia, and a DJ. I don't know what the DJ's name is. I think it's called Perfect or something to that effect, but it's a really cool video, or I mean, commercial.
Oh,
A,
I agree with you.
a long
Completely agree.
commercial, yeah.
Yeah, I took a clip. I don't know if you saw my story, social media. Basically, what I think I look like when I'm out walking the dogs. Just grooving to the music. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really cool. I enjoyed it.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. What else has happened this week for me, or since we spoke last? I think that's about all.
Yeah.
Quick and easy, everyone. Get out now.
Yeah, I've actually been reading a lot, and I've been reading some like religious, like spiritual books,
Okay.
just kind of interesting. But if from a different perspective, I've been reading about Santa Muerte, which is like the religion or practice of praying to death,
Right. Mhm.
basically, and. It's kind of interesting to see like what the difference is between that and like Catholicism, which is what I was raised on. One of the examples that was kind of interesting to me was um, if you pray to Santa Muerte, you will get what you ask for, just straight out.
Hmm.
But if you pray to a saint in Catholicism, let's say you pray to Saint Jude and ask, like, please let me get this job, the saint will look and see if it's a good move for you and will answer that prayer based off of whether or not it's a good move for you. So, for an example, like, let me get this job, but the wish or prayer won't come true if the job wasn't a good fit for you.
Right. 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 So they're protecting
Whereas
you in a way.
Santa Muerte will like make it happen. And let's say you drive on your way to this new job and you get in a car accident and you die. And because she is
Right.
neutral, she doesn't care one way or the other.
Hmm.
So it's kind of interesting. It's held my attention. I've been reading a book. I forgot the name of the book itself. But it's interesting take on spirituality, a cultural from like an anthropology's perspective. It's
Oh, wow.
very interesting to see how Mexican people have taken this approach to death that's very unique to Mexican people, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's very interesting culturally. So I don't know.
That's
That's
cool.
what I've been reading. Yeah.
That's cool. That's really interesting. Yeah. When you finish it, report back. Let us know how it ends.
Yeah. Speaking of religion, I've also there.
That's something you won't hear that often here on Pop Cult X. Speaking of
Yeah,
religion.
speaking of religion, but it has to do with pop culture.
Okay.
So Gwen Stefani has been promoting a prayer app, and has been kind of, I don't know, of reinventing or maybe just being more open about her spirituality,
Okay.
a Catholic, and has been getting some negative feedback because of it, because the app that she is promoting is owned by what's his name, Alex, what's the idiot guy that said that Sandy Hook was fake.
Oh yeah, the InfoWars dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
Alex,
idiot. Yeah.
whatever his name is. He's an own part owner of this app, and she's promoting it. And she was also kind of praising Tucker Carlson in a recent interview about this actor that's in this religious film, and so a lot of people are giving her some flack for that. The point that I bring this up is, does that kind of stuff matter to you when you like someone famous, like let's say a singer, an actor? Does their them professing their faith, or let's say their lack of faith, or whatever it may be, like their contradiction to your personal ethics or your personal religious views, does that make you like them any less or any more?
As long as they're not disparaging anyone else,
Yeah,
doesn't bother me. Like
yeah.
I think who else is was it Mark Wahlberg is really into that?
He's on that app too.
Okay, yeah, he's
So
also
it's
promoting it
Mark
heavily.
Wahlberg,
Yeah,
the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, Gwen Stefani. It's a bunch of Catholics that are on this app.
right. And
That, which I don't know why anyone would pay an app to pray. Like, you can pray for free. Like, I don't know. Save your money and like pray
just
on
go to
your own.
church and you can pray
Yeah,
there for free. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, it's sort of interesting because it's like I've been a big fan of Gwen Stefani for quite some time, like since I'm in almost in high school, right? Like,
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
and never was her perspective a religious one. Like, I never, she never like was professing her faith in such a public or uh outward way. I guess she was always very private about it. And now she's very public. But it comes in a time culturally when people are very sensitive to that sort of thing, because sometimes people who align themselves with certain religions um, also are putting down other people,
Yeah. Yeah.
or misaligning,
Hmm.
or disparaging other people. And so it's kind of, it's really weird, because I'm like wondering, like, well, where does she take it? Like, to what level or what extent is she
Exactly. Hmm.
really religious? Is she, is she anti-Muslim? Is she anti-gay? Is she anti-trans? Like, like, what level is she taking this to? And if she is any of those things, it would impact the way that I am a fan of hers, because I
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
not want to be a fan of hers based off of those things. As of right now, I would say that I'm still a fan, because she's just saying that she's a Catholic and she's proud to be a Catholic and has faith and all of that. And I think that that's certainly fine. But I'm curious to see how far she takes it, and where she will take that, because it's a thin line between like being really proud and proclaiming your faith, and then like going the next step further and saying like, Jews go to hell because they don't believe in Christ, sort of thing. So it's kind of interesting. It's when it comes to pop music, like you don't necessarily. It's something that like country stars do, right? Or like some R&B musicians will like talk about their faith, but like most pop stars don't talk about God. They're not like out there talking about their religion and their faith. So when someone does, it is a little bit jarring, I think.
No, you're right. It is. I mean, especially when it kind of disrupts your whole view of them in a way. And yeah, I can totally see. I mean, like think like Mel Gibson. He's the prime example. What I think of when you were talking about stars
Yeah,
ex, ex, espousing their religious views and it being disparaging, and how now I can't watch any of his films because I don't support what he was spewing, right?
right.
And but I haven't seen any of her. Um, I guess what she believes in other than what you're telling me right now about her supporting this app. But
Yeah.
also then again, is she just supporting it for the dollars?
that's the thing that she's being criticized for. That people are like, well, I guess if you're going to sell out, you did it in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I mean, if she was always religious but never felt comfortable talking about it until this point in her life, that's fine too. I
Right.
mean, I mean that's something that if it's very personal to each person, that sounds
Right.
weird, personable to each person. But and it shouldn't be they shouldn't be torn down for having that viewpoint, like we said, as long as they're not hurting anyone else. But then again, are they by being connected with a religious movement that is known to target those people?
Exactly.
So it's like that's a tough one.
It's sort of similar to like when Madonna started coming out about studying Kabbalah
Right, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah,
and converting to like Judaism and
the mystical portion of Judaism. Yeah,
yeah, and people, I think, for the most part, accepted and applauded it because it made her more open, I think,
yeah.
than being closed off and judgmental and targeting anyone else.
Hmm.
She didn't degrade anyone else in order to become more spiritual.
Right.
It was more of a thing that she tried to uplift more people. So I don't know. I don't want to say that Gwen Stefani is a horrible person now because I don't know that that's the case. All I know is that she's aligned herself with this app, who if it is owned by Alex, I think it's Cross, right? Alex Jones is his name.
Yeah,
Alex Jones, he's not someone that I particularly would like to see her partnered with.
me either.
So that's disappointing. I'm not a big fan of Marky Mark or Mark Wahlberg. He's done some things in his past that I don't think he has atoned for publicly, and he needs to, in my opinion. And do I want to see her aligned with him? No, not really. Guy from the Guardians of the Galaxy, he's okay. She wants to hang out with him, and they can go to Catholic mass together. By all means, go right
You're
ahead.
talking about Chris Pratt, right?
That's Pratt,
Okay,
yeah.
just making sure.
Yeah,
Like I
guy
don't
from
think Dave
Guardians
Bautista
of
is
the
doing that.
Yeah. But the thing that I really, I mean, her music is not in a place where like I fully support it. Like I don't like her current album that she's promoting. So I would love to just see her kind of get back to the old Gwen. That would be my biggest wish and takeaway from all of this is I'd love to see her kind of get back to where she was in the 90s and early 2000s, playing with No Doubt and being fun and being like a cool party band. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think back to like didn't Lady Gaga like she's Catholic, right? And so she's like hasn't been shied away from that at all.
yeah,
But she hasn't also been like blatantly supporting an app that is like pray with me type of thing, right?
yeah,
So I don't know. I think that's one way that you can take it the way that Lady Gaga has approached it, right? She accepts that that's her faith and but not have that be like front and center.
right. Well, and I don't even know if Lady Gaga has really come out as saying that she's a Catholic. I would have to look into that. But if she has, I think she's made it a point in her career and in her life to show that she's protects those that have been like
Absolutely. Yep.
targeted by the Catholic faith and stands up for those that have been uh, um I don't know, pushed away from the religious experience by Catholics, which ironically is like one of the biggest groups of followers of Santa Muerte, which I was talking about earlier,
Hmm.
is those people that have been not accepted by the Catholic Church. So, like
Hmm.
people in the LGBT community,
Hmm.
trans people, people who are poor, people who maybe have committed crimes or are you know quote sinners. So the whole thing is kind of interesting. I have a religious background in the sense that I went to a private school my whole life, studied religion, and so I find it really fascinating. Not in the sense that like I'm going to be praying to Santa Muerte tomorrow, but I just find it kind of interesting to study and to learn more about. So
Very cool.
yeah,
Very cool. Interesting topic you chose there.
yeah.
I won't fault you for it, but it's okay.
Well, and if you look at it, Santa Muerte has actually been in a lot of pop culture recently. I think like American Horror Story. Um, there's been a whole group, bunch of shows that they have portrayed Santa Muerte. I think Sons of Anarchy or one of the other shows that is in that has had people that pray to Santa
Wasn't there
Muerte.
like a Mayan show in that same
Yeah,
vein? Yeah, so it's probably that one.
yeah, probably. Sounds like that makes more sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that that type of cultural, I don't want to say icon, but significance, right, could bleed its way into pop culture, into more mainstream pop culture.
Yeah,
So I think that's really important as a takeaway from your Santa Muerte conversation is that the Latino or Mexican experience can now be seen more or creeping more into the mainstream pop culture.
yeah,
So that's really cool.
yeah. It is. It is really cool. What was I watching? I was watching a film, and there was like a lot of people in it, and there was like not
That
one.
narrows it down.
Yeah, no, like the cast was huge. Like it might have been Opus. I don't know. I don't remember which movie I was watching, but there was like a lot of people, a lot of extras, and there was like not a lot of people of color in it. And I was just wondering, I'm like, do we not exist? Like, are we not in film? Like, we're we exist in the world, and I know that a lot of people are like, we're tired of woke films and people checking off boxes to make, which I really hate. I really hate when people say that because it's like you're like totally disregarding a whole segment of the community and society by like not including them in filmmaking.
Absolutely.
But I don't know, I brought it up. I when you say about, culture seeping into pop to the mainstream and pop culture, we need so much more of that. We need
Yeah,
more representation because there is so few and far between. Thank God, like Saldana had a really great role that she was able to sink her teeth into and got an Oscar nominee or won an Academy Award
hmm
for, which can show that like, hey, we can act, we can be in these films and tell stories.
and she
Uh,
didn't have to wear blue or green makeup, so that was, I think,
I know
yeah.
she finally was able to be herself.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, and I hope it keeps going that way. I know a lot of great filmmakers from Latin America are starting to make their prominence, and even more so than what are currently out there, right?
yeah,
Than Del Toro, Inayutu, is that his name?
yeah,
Yeah, and others in that, and then they've been like the torchbearers, right? So hopefully it just continues to go on.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Cool. I think we'll end on a positive note there.
Yeah,
And we'll light the way forward for more pop culture discussion here on PopCultX. So if you have any comments about anything Gabe just said about religion, leave them right there in the comments. Anything I just said, just forget about it.
yeah. You can at me if you're a Gwen Stefani stan.
There
I
you
don't
go. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, for liking, subscribing, and we will see you all next time.
care. Yeah.